there are certain funny stories of Mango where Mango would tell me about, it was in between like day 1 and day 2, where day 1 is the party night, or day 1 is like day 0 is what I call the pre-tournament party night, where the tournament hasn't started, everybody is just kind of checking into their hotel rooms or flying in, and you kick it with whoever's there. That's what I call day 0. And I think for the most part, since day 1 tends to be pretty easy, like, I don't mind Mango going out on that night. And in fact, Mango and I will usually hang out with people. We'll go to a bar. We'll get some drinks. But day 1 is, like, the tournament where... day 1 is a tournament where you play your early brackets of pools. And then you have to, like... And then day 2 or day 3 is, like, where it gets serious. You get your top 64s, and that's when the bracket gets hard. And usually what I want from Mango is I want him to... like rest up. Like, I don't want him partying very much. Like, I want him to get like his like 8 hours of sleep. But you know, I'm somewhat flexible. Like, so if, you know, for example, his pool's at like noon, I generally want him in the hotel room decompressing by about 1 or 2 o'clock, which is pretty reasonable, and then he gets his 8 hours and he's in good shape. But there will be some nights where he has like a 10 a.m. pool, so I want him in bed pretty early. And Mango would randomly disappear, and I'm just like, okay, like, where'd he go? And it could be as simple as him saying, hey, like, I'm going to the bathroom, and then him never returning, so I'm just like, where did he go? And then, like, over time I recognize the pattern. I'm like, oh gosh, like, he probably went to Dewan's room or something, and he's partying. Or if it's a tournament with a lot of the Mango Nation fanboys, then what happens is, like, I have to figure out where he is, because, like, I'll start DMing Mango. I'm like, hey, where are you? And of course he'll leave me like cold turkey. Like, he will not respond. And eventually, like, I start having to clue in. Like, I'll run into Johnny, or I'll run into Alex, I'll run into Lucky, I'll run into Hugo, and then I'll be just like, hey, like, do you know where Mango is? And they'll be like, oh, like, I saw him with certain people, and it's like a mystery, like I'm like Detective Pikachu or something, to like figure out where Mango ended up going to party without me, because he knows that if I'm there, that I'm telling him he needs to go to the hotel room right now. And knowing that, he like tries to escape the wrath of Tafo. And then eventually I find him, and usually it's like, I will like I understand like he wants to hang out, so like I'll like kind of half look, but like also hang out with other people for like a little bit and catch up in like the hallway of a tournament, just saying like, hey, like, I haven't seen you in a while, like, how are you doing, like that kind of small talk. And I'll like, you know, like, I won't rush to find Mango, but like I'll kind of like be kind of looking for him at the same time. So, and then eventually I'll find him, and then I'll be like, hey, Mango, it's you know, literally like 1 o'clock, it's getting late, you need to go to bed. And by that point, like, he's just like, okay, like, we'll leave after this one drink. That's like the classic Mango line. It's, we'll leave after this just one more drink. Before it was worth usually when he says that, he usually means it. And I usually have to tell Mango's friends, like, hey, like, I have to get him to bed. And then I have to do this common interest thing where I'm like, hey, like, we all want him to win, right? We all want to celebrate. We all want to party with him, right? Like, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, like, we gotta get him in bed. And he's like, yeah. We'll make sure he does. So he'll take his like last drink, and then I'll make sure he's in bed. And then that's usually the pattern that I have to do like every tournament of like, where is Mango on between the first and second nights of the tournament, where it's starting to get pretty difficult and he actually needs like a good night's sleep to perform. Or he can just bust her out and lose Falco Dittos to an up-and-coming player at the tournament. But, you know, in that kind of timeline, I'm no longer his coach, so it's no longer really my burden if he loses to an up-and-coming Falco player in the tournament, you know, on day 1. So that's one of my many adventures as Mango Coach, was trying to figure out which hotel room he was in, partying and drinking with the other players. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't miss doing it, but I have fond memories of it. It wasn't fun doing it, but I laugh at like having to do that while I was Mango Coach, like trying to figure out which hotel room he's in. Oh yeah, yesterday was like it was a really, I don't even know if it was bittersweet. It was heavily emotional, but I don't know if I would have called the ending bittersweet. There was nothing bitter about it. It was a person that like finally accomplished his goals, and I think we all, to some degree, could feel like what Axe is feeling, or like we can recognize that this was a really long journey for Axe, that he wanted to do this for a really long time, and we all got to be like, at least watch the moment of him accomplishing his goal. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful thing to witness. Yeah, so I think it's like an emotional moment, and I think it's okay to like tear up in that. Like I get it. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys think that was, press 1 if you thought that was like kind of a funny story about being Mango Coach. Aw. I'm trying to like think of like another good story that I could share about my memoirs of Mango Coach. I already shared this story of like him taking the giant shit, right? And missing his flight to Big House. Oh, I'm dead. Well, that's unfortunate. That just all happened so soon. Naked